Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Afika, and in this video we will be looking at what is research proposal, what is the structure of the research proposal, and what are the key elements that are going to the research proposal. So without any delay, let's get into it. Before we jump into how to write a research proposal, it is important for us to take a step back and ask the bigger question of why. What is the purpose? What is the function of the research proposal that you are making? So commonly, masters, usually by research, or Ph.D. candidates are required to submit a research proposal during application and to give it to the prospective supervisors at the faculty or department that you already choose to explain to them what are the research you're interested in doing for your study. So research proposal is actually the first thing that you will work with before entering your postgraduate life, but then you do not need to be worried because this is not like a test where if your research proposal is not good enough, then you cannot pursue your study. It should not be a perfect one, but it should demonstrate at least these three things. Is your master's or PhD is worthwhile? Is your master's or PhD is feasible, or whether you are capable of completing it at the university you propose in. So to put it simply, the PhD is worth doing, it is doable, and yes, you can do it. Now let us see the structure of the research proposal. Well, the format may vary between fields, but I am sure that most of it will contain at least the first one, title page, and then introduction section, literature review, followed by research design and reference list. So talking about how long it should be, normally it is no more than 2,000 words, but then check with the requirement from the university you are applying. So some university may allow it more than 2,000 or maybe 2,000 to 3,500 words. So you better check. So the first one, title page. Like your dissertation or thesis, a research proposal will also need to have a title page. So some university has their own template, but most of them include the proposed title of your project, your name, your supervisor's name, your institution you are applying, or the department. And normally the title that you propose should be around 10 words in length, clear and accurate, indicate your area of study or proposed approach. So it is good if it is catchy, informative and interesting. So after all, your title should clearly indicate what your proposed research is about. Well, the first part of research proposal is usually the introduction of your proposed research. So in this section, please tell clearly what you want to do and why. You may also include the abstract before the introduction section if your introduction is very long. Here, you should first introduce the topic that you choose. You give some necessary background and include problem statement and research questions. So talking about research question, you should formulate this clearly, giving explanation as to what problem and issue are to be explored and why that they are worth exploring. So maybe you can include information such as who could have an interest in the topic, how much is already known about the topic, what is still lacking, what are new insight of your research will contribute, and why you believe in the research is worth doing. And here you can add aims and objectives. So include briefly what are you trying to achieve with your research? What is the purpose? Are you addressing a gap in the current research? Do you want to look at the theory more closely and test it out? Or is there something you are trying to prove or disapprove? Well, to help you clarify this, think about the potential outcome of your research, and that is actually your aim. So your objective will be your aim, broken down or the steps to achieving the intended outcome. They are the smaller proof points that will underpin your research purpose. So be logical in the order of how you present this so that each succeeds the previous. So for example, if you need to achieve A before B, before C, then make sure you order your objectives A, B, C. Next, we are going to the literature review section. This is an important section to let your supervisor know how much do you familiar with the topic that you choose. You need to find the gap of what is still missing from the previous research and not just repeating on the project that has already been done. So in this section, you can compare the main theories, methods, or debate in the topic. You can examine the pros and cons of different approaches and explain how you will build in, challenge, or synthesize a previous work. So a good literature review doesn't just summarize sources, it analyzes, synthesizes, and critically evaluates to give a clear picture of the state of knowledge on the subject. Okay, in the research design, or we call it methodology section, you describe your overall approach and the practical step that you take to answer your research question. So in the first line of this section, you should restate your main objective in order to bring the focus back to your own project. So in this section, you should provide an outline of a research type, whether you are using a qualitative or quantitative method, original data collection or primary or secondary source of analysis, descriptive, or maybe experimental research design. You should also mention about the population and sample, who or what you will study, how you will select your subject, are you using probability sampling, non-probability sampling, then when and where will you collect your data. So the third one is the research method. What data collection tools and procedure you will use. Are you going to do survey, interviews, or experiment, and justify all the things you've mentioned. And aside from that, talking about practicalities, you should provide a Gantt chart, how much time do you need to complete the study, how you will gain access to your population, and how you will address any coming obstacle. In order to finish your proposal on a strong note, emphasize again what you aim to contribute and why it matters. So in this section of contribution of knowledge, you may say that your research can maybe improve the best practice, or maybe informing policy making decision, strengthening a certain model or theory, or maybe challenging popular or scientific belief, or creating a basis for future research. Lastly, in the reference list, you must include correct citations for every source that you use. And final check before submitting this document along with your PhD application or master's application, you will need to ensure that you have adhered to the research proposal format. That means that every page is numbered, it's professional, interesting, and informative. The research proposal has been proofread by both experienced academic to confirm that it conforms to the academic standard, and a layman to correct any grammatical or spelling errors. And you have used a clear and easy to read structure with the appropriate headings. And before you go and start writing, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!